What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the power of rest. Now, when I say rest, I don't mean like physical going to sleep rest all the time, but I mean more of a physical reset as well as a mental reset. And when I say in this video, making sure that the importance of rest is key, I mean in every aspect of your life, making sure that you have a good start to whatever your work day is, your gym workout is, and really is moving in and moving forward from the things that you want to move with. That way you can perform at the top level that you know you can be. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, this video is kind of ironic because, like, even for me, I find myself wanting to work a lot, wanting to keep going, staying up late, with hanging out with family, hanging out with friends, trying to go out and do things, trying to work on the content creation, trying to work on the business, the trading, all these different type of things. But at the same time, I know that I have to prioritize me getting sleep, me not looking at a screen for so long, making sure that I have the proper reset so I'm not feeding myself the wrong habits, and really trying to make sure that I can be able to perform for the next day at the highest level. So whenever I say, make sure that you guys work on your reset and work on the things that you want to work on, I'm also in the same boat because, I want to wake up early. I want to start working on stuff. I want to get things done. And I'm sure you're the same type of person. You wake up, you want to go to work, you want to make sure that you perform, and having that type of mentality or having that type of physical reset is going to be very key in your performance in your day-to-day actions. I'm curious, have you ever been like going and going and going and going and going and going, and all of a sudden you just stop? Like, you don't feel any motivation, you don't feel like doing anything. That's a burnout. That's the definition of a burnout. It's like when everything is going well, everything you're trying to do, you're overworking yourself, and then you just want to stop everything that you're doing and you want to quit. I don't know if maybe I might not say quit, but you want to just slow down very quickly of everything that you're working on. That's called a burnout. And a burnout is caused by you not being able to rest your mind or rest your body up enough. All of a sudden, you don't want to go to the gym anymore. You don't want to continue working on what you've been working on in school. The projects at work are becoming too hectic, right? You're like, I just want to have my rest days. I need my vacation days. That's because you're starting to feel burnt out. That's because you haven't rested your mind and your body well enough, and you're probably overworking everything that you're trying to do. And so I used to not believe in burnouts. I used to be like, look, you guys can actually see it in one of my first videos. I said I'm not a computer chip where I get burnt out. I'm a human being where I can keep going and keep going. But the thing is that with me being human, I also find my ways of being like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to rest. I need to restart whatever it is that I'm working on, because what I've been doing has been burning me out. And I've understood the importance of it because, trying to make sure that you're not burnt out or that you're able to show up every day and perform at the level that you know you can perform is one of the best things, because then you start understanding that, like, okay, what is going on with my mentality? Why am I like not as motivated? Why do I not feel as driven to be able to go out and do the things I want to do? Why am I in a place where I feel like I'm sad or I'm depressed? Why do I feel like whatever the case is, right? And you start kind of analyzing these things. Most likely it's because you haven't had the right rest or the best reset. People go on vacation so that they can reset, but yet people go on vacations and they still stress out because they got to worry about the money. They got to worry about the timing. They got to worry about how to get there. They got to worry about what you're going to do there, right? And it's funny because people feel like, okay, I need to go like somewhere else to get a vacay, when really it's because you're just not sleeping enough at home, or you come home and it's still stressful. So you got to be mentally activated, and you got to go day to day to day, still on the go, right? And so, you just got to analyze your life. What does a recovery period look like for you? Does it mean that you need to sleep more on the weekends? Does it mean that you can't stay up late looking at your phone on social media all the time? Does it mean that, in the mornings you sleep in a little bit longer just so that you can be able to sleep in enough? Like, what does that really look like for you? And the importance of not having a burnout and making sure that you're recovering enough is so that you can be able to perform in any type of aspect that you need to. I always think about the analogy when it comes to like sports. It's like if you were trying to go play basketball, but you sprain your ankle, you're not going to be able to play at the best, performance that you can. But if you did an ice bath, you did the right training, you worked on that ankle, and you started doing the things that you needed to do to recover, then maybe you can play at the same level that you've been playing at, even better on that ankle, because you've been working on it, right? And it's the same thing that applies to life. Okay, I feel like I'm slacking here. I feel like I'm getting mentally exhausted here. I'm falling asleep early here. In meetings, I'm getting super exhausted. Whatever the case is that because you're starting to actually lose the drive of whatever it is that you're doing? Or is that because you just have bad habits in your life? And then you have to analyze those things. How do I really overcome these things to understand myself? Okay, so when I start doing this for a consistent period of time, then I do feel burnt out. When I deal with these consistent people, I do feel burnt out. When I do this project at work, I do feel burnt out. When I'm having to drive for a long period of time, going to work and having to come back home after a long day, I do feel burnt out. Okay. And then you start understanding yourself in that type of aspect. So, understand who you are, but also understand what burns you out, and then understand what it takes for you to recover these things. Having alone time is probably one of my favorite things, because I can be in my own space, in my own world, doing whatever it is I want to do. I could rather be playing the game, I could be making content, I could be on social media, I could be on the phone, I could be just laying in bed, like it could be anything. And just being in my own space, in my own world, allows me to be able to feel more comfortable, where I don't have to perform for anyone, or I don't feel like I have to provide for anyone, right? I can be able to have my own social battery recharge itself, so I can be able to go out and have interactions and be able to be present in places. You ever be like in a place where you're like talking and then you're like, wait, what were we talking about? Or you're like, like you're at a place and you're having a conversation with someone, and then you like to start mentally disconnecting, right? It's like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm trying to listen, but I also don't really care about what we're talking about, or like I don't really understand the point that we're getting to in this conversation. It could be because that you just genuinely don't care about the conversation or whatever the person has to say, but it could also be that I just feel like I'm disconnected because my mind is mentally exhausted. I've had this happen today. I've had this happen today. I feel like I just need to recharge. And that's the thing. Sometimes people don't need vacations. They just need to recharge. They just need to go somewhere, be on their own, be with whoever they want to be with. Because some people, they like to be with their person, and then they like to recharge. They like to regroup, recollect themselves. And the power of that is massive. A lot of people don't really appreciate their alone time. That's because people don't even like the word alone. People like togetherness. People like community. People like dealing with other people. But yet, a lot of people also like to be alone. A lot of people don't want to be with other people. People have trust issues. People don't want to deal with other people. So just understand the type of person that you are. Because if you can be able to find the balance, then you can be able to know exactly what you need for yourself when you need it. I've learned that one of the things that end up helping me actually is just understanding that I create a routine for my day or for my life of whatever it is that I want. I know that, okay, in this day, I need to work on this, this, and this. But I also need to make sure I have rest time in this, this, and this. So this is what I'll do between the time to make sure I'm not like super focused on whatever it is I'm working on. I take my mental breaks and then I keep working on whatever it is that I got to keep working on. But as long as I'm not overworking myself or overstimulating myself, then I can still be able to perform at the level that I need to. I can still be able to have that work-life balance or that work-stress balance if you need to. And then really moving from there and understanding what that looks like. Another thing that I would say is making sure that you know how to say no to other people. Because if you start overcommitting to being places or doing certain things for certain people, then you might end up stretching yourself out too much, and then there's not really much left for you. And I think that a lot of people, they don't know how to say no, because everyone wants to be that great person for somebody, be that good person for your parents, be that great person for your friend, be that great person for your relationship, and whatever that really looks like, they end up stretching you in all these different type of ways, where if you kind of think about it as like, some type of candy that's being super stretched out, is eventually going to break, right? You won't have nothing left of what the product originally was. And I think that a lot of people are like that. So refrain from just saying yes to everyone. Say no to the things that you know that you can't commit to, because people want to commit to everything. And I think that that's what ends up stressing people out and feel like there's not enough time in life for certain things and enough availability for themselves to do what they want to do. Again, going back to the alone time. They feel like I'm here, but I don't have time for myself to even regroup. I come home and I finally sleep, and I gotta wake up and I gotta show up for everybody else, and I can't really be there for myself. And so I think that saying no and being there for yourself is one of the most crucial things to being able to reset and be able to rest your mind and your physical state. And the last thing that I'll say is make sure that you set boundaries of what your work and your social life look like. Make sure that you set the boundaries of the expectations of what people have from you, because sometimes at work, people will ask so much of you. They will ask you to do this super big project or do things that you aren't even per se qualified to do, but yet they're expecting you to show up and show out every single time, or even if it's at home, you're expected to come home and you're expected to cook, or you're expected to come home and you're expected to, do whatever the home responsibilities are, and really knowing what that really looks like for you. Like, where are you really stretching yourself out at in your life? And learn how to have boundaries in your social and your work life. And for some people, if you're trying to balance school, knowing how to balance school, life, and work, and knowing how to maintain a balance in all of those, really trying to understand yourself, because you have to be able to rest in every single one of those areas. On the weekends, don't do any schoolwork, right? Because then you have to go to work. You have to show up for work, and then you have to do whatever. Then you have to go and cater to your life things. Okay, but during the week, we're going to cater to life, and we're going to cater to school, because that's what I need to focus on during the week. Again, it's really whatever works for you. But there's so many categories in life that you just have to know how to find the balance for yourself and what really works. So that's really going to wrap up this video, y'all. Just make sure that whenever you're going through life or you feel like you're going to be burnt out, that you understand why you feel burnt out. If you feel like you're overcommitting, you feel like you're overworking, you're doing too much, slow down. And it's okay. Because some people, they don't know when it's okay to slow down, and that it's okay to relax on the work that they're doing, because they feel like it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to produce what they want to do, and that it's not going to come out the way that they want to. But it wouldn't come out the way that you wanted to, because you couldn't even give it the 100% that you wanted to. Does that make sense? So that's just something to think about whenever you feel like you're being stressed out, or you feel like you're not resting your body and your mind enough, because those are really one of the most crucial things in life. So that's really all I got for y'all. Follow me on socials. All of my socials are King Malone. Like and subscribe to the channel. And until then, I will catch you on the next video. Go on.